cowboy. Ready? Good evening, everyone. It is November 4th, 2025. It is 6 o'clock in the evening, and we are going to call this meeting of the Gallatin City Council to order. We begin each of our meetings with the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. This evening, Vice Mayor Hayes will lead us in the pledge, and Pastor Stephen Lee from First United Methodist Church is going to be offering our invocation. So we'll begin with you, Pastor Lee, if you'd like to come to the podium. And I'd invite you to stand with me, please.
Let's pray together. Eternal and loving God, we give you thanks for the gift of this beautiful day that you've granted us as a gift from your divine hand, and for the privilege of meeting together as a community, and for the business that will be conducted tonight. And we pray always that cooler heads will always prevail in those situations where we have a disagreement. And in this climate in which we live in our country, we pray that you give us hearts of peace instead of hearts of war, and help us to be the bridge builders that bring unity and compromise and grace, even while the people around us are focused upon bringing division and disunity. And we pray by our conduct and through our relations with one another that you will be honored and glorified. And we pray this prayer and all of our prayers in the name of Jesus, who is the Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Schedule, if you would call the roll for us, please.
Vice Mayor Hayes.
Present.
Councilman Alexander.
Present.
Councilman Carter.
Present.
Councilman Fan.
Here.
Councilman Fennell.
Here.
Councilman Jones.
Here.
Councilman Juvance. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you so much. We have two sets of minutes for your consideration for approval this evening. The first are from October 7th, 2025. The second are from October 21st, 2025.
Motion approved.
Have a motion to approve by Councilman Fennell, a second by Councilman Jones. Are there any additions, corrections, subtractions requested? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes both from October 7th and October 21st, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Thank you very much. The minutes are unanimously approved. We'll move now to public recognition. This is public recognition on agenda-related items. There is also a period of time at the end of the meeting for public recognition on non-agenda-related items. We ask that you come to the podium here. You'll be given 5 minutes to speak. We need your name and your address for the record, and we do ask that we all remain respectful of one another. Also, there are 2 public hearings this evening. The first one is for the adopting a plan of services for the annexation of 325 acres, including a portion of Brights Lane located south of Highway 31E and north of Gateway Drive. And then there's another public hearing for the same annexation. And so if you want to speak relative to either of those, you're welcome to do that under the public hearings, or you may speak under public recognition on agenda-related items. With that, public recognition on agenda-related items is now open.
Thank you, Mayor and Councilman. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. My name is Judy Harden. I live at 1116 Roundtree Drive, and I'm here to speak against the annexation of the property located off of Roundtree Drive. I do have a petition that all but one of 17 residents have signed, but one of 17 property owners has signed. And I laid a copy of that petition on each of your desks so that you could see what was included on that petition, so that if our request against the annexation failed, these are some things that we would like at least to see put forth to protect our neighborhood and our properties. But a couple of the things that I'm concerned about is the type of, we have heard that that property could be annexed and then changed in zoning to industrial. And what type of industry? We would like to see a very light technical industry and information technology facilities. But even that has concerns. The utilities, are there enough utilities there now? Because the type of facility that is there with Meta consumes a lot of not only electricity, but water. And data centers are energy-intensive enterprises. So if there's another data center to go there, is it going to require more high-power lines and facilities to be put in place? And in the long run, are we as consumers, and have been here for years and years, going to be paying for these costs and the improvements to the infrastructure, you know, as consumers, on our bills? So if you would take these things into consideration when you consider annexing this, not only is it involving our properties and our values, but it is involving just the mere, I think, the aesthetics of that area. It's not found in Sumner County very often, and it's going away rather quickly, and we dearly hate to lose it. So if we could keep it, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Ms. Harden, are you going to leave that petition with Ms. Kittrell or send us copies by email? It's your choice.
I am. I have signatures. Thank you.
You can do whatever's easiest for you.
Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
My name is Chaplain Deborah Austin, and my address is 222 Tupper Drive, Gallatin, Tennessee. As I said, my name is Chaplain Deborah Austin. I'm a retired firefighter medic that's on retirement and Social Security disability. I am the founder of the Stay Warm Shelter that God told me to open 11 years ago. The first 4 to 5 years, I, along with my husband, fully financed the shelter on our retirement. The shelter operates year-round, but we only house in January and February, the coldest months of the year. I have a crew of 6 then of those months, and the rest of the year, my husband and I are the Stay Warm Shelter. We only open on Friday due to the other churches promising to try to open another night, but failed to do so. We get $5,000 a year from United Way due to Aaron Birch believing in what we were doing and seeing firsthand our homeless situation. The only other money we get is word to mouth and those that care enough to take care of the homeless. Let me put an end to an untruth that I've been hearing for years, that we do not have a homeless problem in Gallatin, and that the few we do have somewhere to go but choose not to. They have somewhere to go, and let me tell you where they go. Up and down the railroad track, abandoned houses, in the woods certain places, and in cars at Walmart and other places they can hide. It is said that if we build a shelter, it would bring others from outside of Gallatin. Imagine if the Nashville Mission felt that way all the times I had to take our homeless, Gallatin homeless, there. We not only care for the homeless in Gallatin, but all over Sumner County. We go to Westmoreland, Portland, White House, Goodlettsville, and Hendersonville. And I can tell you better than anyone in this county where each one of those cities homeless are hiding. It is more to caring for homeless than just food, and we do the more. I help them get on Social Security, doctor's appointments, rides to and from Nashville shelter, hotels, the nights that we're not open, light bills, rent, and so much more if our finances say so. I even got them stimulus checks by doing their paperwork and sending the checks to the shelter for them. In the summer, we have a program called Watering His Sheep, where we provide cold water for the homeless, and matter of fact, anyone that's thirsty. I would rather give you a 50-cent bottle of water than watch you or your child have a heat stroke. We were told nonprofits should care for the homeless. A nonprofit has for 11 years, but we have to have the funds to do that. I only took a vow to the Lord to open a shelter, and I kept that vow. City and county council and commission both mayors took an oath to care for all the people in their district and precinct. It didn't say they had to have a house. You've done well caring for the housed people in your precinct and district, but you have failed the unhoused in your area. Lots of homelessness is due to no affordable housing. Once Chapel Ridge and other apartments took their rent up, they cleared half the apartments because the people abandoned their apartments because they couldn't afford the rent. So that means they were homeless also. We have 320 homeless kids in the Sumner County school system. Common sense tells me that they have at least one parent, if not two, and maybe siblings. Wouldn't that say Gallatin has homeless? We have nice sidewalks, and the same people that profess to be Christians will walk right over and past the homeless and not even help them until a Good Samaritan comes along. Where are the Good Samaritans in Gallatin and Sumner County, starting with the ones that took an oath? Stephen Carter has always spoken up for the shelter, so again, I thank you. The only financial support I have ever gotten from the city council or the county commission has been from the Juvances that hosted a pool party that I spoke at, and they raised money, so thank you to them. Last but not least, I used to get upset that the city or county would not help, but God said, don't worry, I got them. And he reminded me of a man in the Bible that got had money and decided to tear down all his old barns to build new ones to make room for all the things that man had. That man never got a chance to see them barns built. We will not be asked how many sidewalks, courthouses we built. He's only going to ask us, did you feed my sheep, care for my homeless, visit the sick, and those in prison? Thank y'all.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak this evening under public recognition? Okay, seeing no one, I'm going to declare public recognition closed. And then we'll move on to mayor's comments. And I do have two proclamations to present this evening. And so first, I'm going to ask Kimberly Meyer to join me at the podium for this presentation. Okay. Everybody, we are here to recognize Thank a Business Month. You know about Small Business Saturday. You know that this starts the best shopping season of the year. This was a lot of retailers going to the black at this shopping season. And so this proclamation is very much about acknowledging our businesses and not just the goods and services that they bring to us, but also the character that they bring to our community. So I'll read it to you. It says, whereas the City of Gallatin recognizes the vital role that businesses play in contributing to the economic prosperity and cultural richness of our community, and whereas local businesses in Gallatin, Tennessee, ranging from small enterprises to larger establishments, contribute significantly to job creation, innovation, and the unique character that defines our city, and whereas the City of Gallatin joins the Better Business Bureau serving Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky in acknowledging the hard work, dedication, and resilience demonstrated by our business community, especially in the face of challenges, and whereas November presents an opportune time to express gratitude and appreciation for the contributions of local businesses and to encourage residents to support and celebrate their efforts. Now, therefore, I, Paige Brown, Mayor of the City of Gallatin, do hereby proclaim the month of November as Thank a Business Month in Gallatin and urge all residents to take this opportunity to express their appreciation for the local businesses that enhance the quality of life in Gallatin. Let us celebrate the entrepreneurs, employees, and establishments that contribute to the vibrancy and success of our community, and not in the proclamation, but I will certainly add by shopping local. With that, I'd introduce Kimberly Meyer, and then we'll get a
Okay, thank you
picture
so
for us.
much, Mayor Brown and the City Council and all the awesome businesses and consumers in Gallatin. That's what we want to do this month, the month of November. Like she said, we want to celebrate, recognize, do that extra little something for all of our businesses because it's tough out there. And so it is starting to be a busy season with the holidays coming up, and we just really want to give that extra effort and recognize our businesses in the beautiful city of Gallatin and in Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. So the Better Business Bureau of Middle Tennessee is here to help. We will recognize businesses on a daily basis, so follow us on social media, bbb.org. And there again, thank you, Mayor Brown and the city for recognizing us and for the proclamation.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Take a photo with us, or with me. Now I would invite Pastor Stephen Lee and Judy Jones. Is there anyone else with you all? Well, you don't have to come if you don't want to, but we'd love to have you from Gallatin First United Methodist Church. Okay. Well, you sort of met Pastor Stephen Lee earlier because he did the invocation for us this evening, but in case you don't know, he is the pastor at the church across the street, First United Methodist Church, church near and dear to many of us. Very, very much to me the fabric of our community in so many ways. The downtown churches and those of us who grew up in them, and we're delighted to have you here, have your family here. And this year marks a milestone because would you believe the sanctuary at Gallatin First United Methodist Church was built 150 years ago. And so this week they are celebrating, and so I'm delighted to present a proclamation this evening. Then I'll welcome Pastor Lee to speak if he desires. You're a preacher. I think you always want to speak. So this says, whereas we value the faith and commitment of the previous generations of citizens who transformed Gallatin into the beautiful, welcoming, and faith-based community it is today, and whereas Gallatin Methodists reacted to our community's renewed interest in religion after suffering the American Civil War and subsequent cholera epidemic in 1873 by deciding to construct a larger church in downtown Gallatin. And whereas the Methodists undertook their grand endeavor by resourcefully raising funds and engaging the renowned Nashville architect W.C. Smith to design the new Gothic-style church at 149 West Main Street, and whereas the new Methodist sanctuary, upon its completion in 1875, was described by news reporters as one of the finest churches in the state of Tennessee and remains notable today in its architecture, its ministry, and outreach to the Gallatin community. Now, therefore, in recognition of the 150th anniversary and rededication of the Gallatin First United Methodist Church Sanctuary, I, Mayor Paige Brown, do hereby proclaim the week of November 9th as Gallatin First United Methodist Church Sanctuary 150th Anniversary Week. And I encourage the citizens to recognize it. And if you never had a chance to visit the sanctuary that's across the street, it's a beautiful piece of art. But with the organ and the stained glass, and this year they've been featuring the background of all the stained glass windows, and we're so fortunate that they've been retained all those years. And I know that people would be welcome to visit the sanctuary and see it if they would like to. Pastor Lee?
Thank you, Mayor Brown and City Council. And I promise I will not do a sermon. But we would like to invite all of you, if you don't have a home church, Sunday we will have a service commemorating the 150th anniversary of the sanctuary completion at 10 a.m. So every one of you are welcome. And I'm just blessed to be the pastor of First United Methodist Church, and my family and I are equally blessed to be in Gallatin. And we've really loved the town since we moved here last summer. And we're just grateful to God and for everyone here to be a part of this wonderful community. Thank you all.
Thank you, Pastor Lee. Would you get a photo? Sure. with that, I'll move along with just a few events of which I would like for you to be aware. The first is there are some training and employment connection events. The first one is tomorrow at the Shalom Zone from 11 to 1. On the following day, Thursday, the American Red Cross will be having a blood drive at the Civic Center, 11 to 4. Another training and employment connection event at the Gallatin Public Library from 1 to 3 on the 7th. And then on the 8th is the Veterans Day Parade. That's at 11 a.m. American Legion always does a wonderful job with that. I'd encourage people to go out and watch it. I was told just in passing recently that the Trousdale Place is going to have a coffee truck at their front lawn, and they're going to have the lawn open for parade viewing, and so you might check out there if you never have before. And the Gallatin Comic Con is happening this weekend. Lots of iconic television stars are coming to Gallatin, to the Gallatin Civic Center. I know Vicki Lawrence, I forgot the actors' names, the Chips actors, and lots of other cool people are going to be here this weekend. And this is an amazing event that happens in Gallatin. I have to say it's not really my thing, but it's amazing to go and see and meet the people that are coming to our community because they do these Comic Cons all over the country. So it's a great opportunity for Gallatin, and that happens on Saturday and Sunday. Also on Sunday, Ms. Hal McCauley's celebrating a birthday. And then the Red Cross has another blood drive coming up on Monday, 11 to 4. The Chamber Luncheon is happening at First Baptist Church, Winchester. That's from 11:30 to 1. And Veterans Day is on Tuesday. There is another training and employment connection event at the Shalom Zone on the 12th from 11 to 1. And then next weekend is the annual Tinsel and Treasures tradition. If you're not familiar with that, it's a holiday open house. It happens throughout the community. Our local retailers really go all out to kick off the holidays. They have food. Some of them have entertainment. They're decorated beautifully. And it is just a great way to get into the holiday spirit, do as we spoke of earlier, and support our local merchants, and get in the spirit of the season for certain. That same day, Yuletide at the station is happening. They'll have a market set up inside the station for people that don't have bricks and mortar. And then on the 15th is the Rosemont Christmas Market. Similar thing, they will have a market set up there from 2 until 8 p.m. And then on the 16th, upcoming, well, two things. Before that, on the 15th, there is a recycling roundup. It's recycling hard-to-recycle items. It's happening in Smyrna, but if you've got a lot you need to get rid of, it may be worth the trip. And then the Gallatin Lions Club Journey for Sight Mountain Bike Challenge is happening at Lock 4 Mountain Bike Trail on the 16th of November. So lots of great events coming up. The season will be in full swing before we know it. And that concludes the mayor's comments. I'm now going to go to the regular agenda.
Mayor, can I ask
Please.
a question about the agenda?
Absolutely.
Is this the place? Thanks. I was just curious. I still got 5 more meetings of my new guy card you gave me. I'm curious about the public hearings when we've not seen a master development plan. Normally, these are in between first and second readings. Maybe this has been done before and I just didn't know it, but we've not had a first reading on this, have we?
We wouldn't have a master development plan.
Well, preliminary, but-
Because we wouldn't, because this is just the annexation.
Annexation.
And remember the weird way we have to do annexations now that we're not a regional planning commission.
Okay.
We have to.
I do remember that.
Annex, and I think we all agree, we don't like doing it that way, but it is the law, and that is how we are doing it.
Okay,
I know, it's
I wanna see a
hard to make
plan.
it make
I
sense.
wanna see a plan.
Right? I
Thank you.
know. All right, I appreciate that. Moving on then, so the first item is a public hearing on resolution R2509-69, and Councilman Jones will introduce that.
Thank you, Mayor. A resolution of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, adopting a plan of services for the annexation of 325.48 plus or minus acre portion of parcel, including a portion of Brights Lane located south of Highway 31 and north of Gateway Drive, and providing for an effective date. Motion to discuss.
So public hearing is open, and anyone may come forward and speak at this time if they so desire. Seeing no one indicating that they do, I'll declare the public hearing on resolution R2509-69 closed. And moving on to public hearing on Resolution R2509-70. Councilman Jones, it's you again.
Thank you, Mayor. A resolution of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, annexing a 325.48 plus or minus acre portion of a parcel, including a portion of Brights Lane located south of Highway 31 and north of Gateway Drive, into the City of Gallatin, authorizing the annexed property to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, assigning the annexed area to a council direct district, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Public hearing is now open if you would like to speak. Yeah, I was kind of guessing no one would since you didn't on the first one, so I'll declare the public hearing on Resolution R2509-70 closed. Moving on now to item number 3, which is second reading on ordinance 02509-48, and for that, Councilman Carter.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, rezoning 0.66 plus or minus acres from the CS Commercial Services District to the MRO Multiple Residential and Office District with the preliminary master development plan for Habitat for Humanity Examiner Court Residential Community located south of Tulip Poplar Drive and west of Sumner Hall Drive, authorizing the revisions to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. And I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Carter, second by Councilman Juvance. Opening the floor for any questions or any discussion. Councilman Juvance.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, I like the project. I think it's look great, and there's going to be a good start. Looks like more than what we have on the new Zolco coming to us. I would just like to make an amendment because I know it's probably going to come later where we have been waiving fees for their project a few times. So to avoid them to have to come back against to us, I would just make an amendment that we waive the fees for Habitat for Humanity on the project.
I'm not sure what fees we have. I know we've waived tap fees, but I'm not sure we have waived all fees. I don't, do you know? Does anybody know off the top of their head? I hate to put anybody on the spot. Yeah.
And as you're coming forward, I do feel like on something like that, that's a really major amendment, and if we're talking waiving fees, we probably should do that separately and not do it in a rezone.
Mayor, council members, I cannot give you a direct answer on what ones we've waived in the past for Habitat, but there has been incidents where we have waived fees for nonprofits. I will look into it and get you some more information on it.
Yeah, that's why it's helpful to have information before the meeting, and then we can have that to be helpful. So, do you still want to try and amend that now, or do you want to wait and see what they ask for and what we have done typically?
Can we bring it back?
We would just bring a separate ordinance.
Yeah, can you look into it and bring us something?
They typically have requested, and we've always been accommodating of their request.
Mr. House said that he will look into it, and he would have the information within his office to know what has been waived in the past.
If it's okay with you all, I have that ability to be able to waive those fees. If y'all want me to waive them, I'll be more than glad to.
Well, but that's the codes piece, and, there's
Right.
an engineering piece there.
I can't
know.
waive.
That's why I'm saying.
I can't waive Nick's and Brian's, but for the
I
building
think- I know-
part, I can
yeah.
advise you on that.
I think we do need to proceed cautiously and make sure that our costs are covered, and we have opportunity to address that in the future for certain. Okay, thank you. Okay, is there anyone else? Okay, this is second reading on ordinance 02509-48. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. It is unanimously approved. Item 4 is, that means the Habitat for Humanity people can go home. Now, typically, I would say no applause from the audience, please, but I know you're happy because you get to leave. So thank you all for what you do. Item 4 is second reading on ordinance 02510-55. Councilman Fan.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance appropriating funds received in the amount of $1,311 $0.77 for damage to a traffic signal, and I so move.
A motion by Councilman Fan, second by Councilman Carter. Any questions, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Does pass unanimously. Item 5 is second reading on ordinance 02510-56. Councilman Juvance.
Thank you, Mayor. It's an ordinance to donate .187 plus or minus acres of land to TDOT for the State Route 6 East Camp Creek Bridge improvement, and I so move.
Motion by Councilman Juvance, second by Councilman Carter. Questions, discussion? Okay, this second reading on ordinance 02510-56. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Does pass unanimously. Item 6 is second reading on ordinance 02510-57. Councilman Juvance.
Thank you, Mayor. It's an ordinance appropriating $1 million plus for the Big Station Camp Transportation Improvement District project, and I so move.
Motion by Councilman Juvance. Second by Councilman Alexander. That's second reading on ordinance 02510-57. Are there any questions? That's $1,060,135.66. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Does unanimously pass. Item 7 is first reading on ordinance 02510-52. Councilman Fan.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance appropriating $12,686.41 to Miracle League Supplies from donations, and I so move.
Motion by Councilman Fan, second by Councilman Fennell. Are there any questions? Is there any discussion? Second read, no, I'm sorry, it's first reading on ordinance 02510-52. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Does pass unanimously. Item 8 is first reading on ordinance 02510-53. Councilman Fennell.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance appropriating $5,083.33 to parts from insurance recovery. So move.
Motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Carter. Any comments? Any questions? It's first reading on ordinance 02510-53. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say no. It is passed on first reading unanimously. Item 9 is first reading on ordinance 02510-63. Councilman Juvance.
Thank you, Mayor. It's an ordinance appropriating $143,000 for the Greenlee Interchange Improvement Project, and I so move.
Motion by Councilman Juvance, second by Councilman Carter. Questions or discussion? Okay, it's first reading, ordinance 02510-63. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. It is unanimously passed on first reading. Item 10 is first reading on ordinance 02510-64. Councilman Fennell is recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance to change Gallatin Municipal Code 14-9B to reflect changes in solid waste procedures for long driveway billing. So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Jones. Questions, discussion? I think it affects 9 driveways or 7? Okay, not many. Okay, this is first reading on ordinance 02510-64. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Passes unanimously on first reading. Item 11 is resolution R2509-67. Councilman Juvance.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a resolution accepting public improvement by the City of Gallatin, Tennessee in Carlton Phase 7A. And motion to discuss.
Opening the floor for discussion. You, okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
No, I guess not, sorry. Okay, second by Councilman Alexander, sorry.
I have a 20-second video to show you on what's happening there, because I think that needs to be fixed before we accept that. Because until you see what's happening, you can't really understand. I know engineering, we're looking into it. He moved. He's back there now. But I haven't heard anything back from them. So, again, I would like to show you
22nd of what's happening there before I make a motion to postpone until that issue is resolved.
I don't know whether to call you for it. It would be this body's decision whether to show the video. But I don't want to put you in a bad position either, Nick, so. Well, would someone make a motion?
Do the video.
Motion by Councilman Carter, second by Councilman Alexander. Any questions, discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, we'll show the video. Mr. Henschel, are you okay with making it happen?
And if you can, please show the picture so we know where it is. So that's basically where that's happening. So it's right at the end of phase 6 and at the start of 7-8. So I think there is an issue there. And I don't think we should accept anything more until that is fixed, because that was sent by the owner of this home, and that was after a few days of rain. So that's going to be worse and worse.
Yeah, I don't know what happens after a few days of rain, and that's why I wanted you to get with Nick about things. I don't know, Mr. Tuttle, do you feel like that's something that you can address and give clarity to?
So shared it with staff when Councilman Javance brought it forward, and they gave me a short explanation. I asked for more details, and as I was walking in the door tonight, I remembered that I didn't get a follow-up. So I don't have a great answer for you tonight. What I believe is that that's from the worst storm that we had in 2024. You may know more. I did not speak with this property owner, but I don't know what else went into that and how it, if that's an absolute normal occurrence or not. But
he sent it to me
I don't have all the answers
ago,
tonight.
so.
I think didn't it say November 10th on the thing, or did I dream that?
I didn't. I don't know. I didn't see that on the video.
That's-
November 10th.
That's what I thought it said. I may have dreamed that, but I thought that's what it said, which would have been in 24, obviously. Where did I get that?
Yeah, there's no date.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't have been November either, because it was really green, actually, now that I think about it.
So I'm happy to follow up. Yeah, obviously, you can defer the item, and we can follow up at the next city council meeting if that's what you prefer.
Motion to postpone until the next council.
Motion to defer to the next council meeting, which is,
Second.
okay, so motion to defer until November 18th. Second by Councilman Alexander. Any questions, any discussion? Okay, all in favor of deferring Resolution R2509-67 to 11/18, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. It is deferred. Item 12 is Resolution R2510-72. Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, authorizing the City of Gallatin to submit an application to annex a 3.56 plus or minus acre parcel into the city located north of East Broadway and east of Dobbins Pike. Motion.
Motion by Councilman Jones, second by Councilman Carter. Are there any questions, any discussion? Councilman Juvance.
Again, I can't vote yes for annexation, as I still think the city is in default of previous plan of services, so we'll be voting no.
Else? This is Resolution R2510-72. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Passes 6-1. Moving now to item 13, which is Resolution R2510-78. Councilman Alexander.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a resolution authorizing Gallatin Police Department to apply for the Department of Justice body-worn camera grant, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Alexander, second by Councilman Fan. Questions, discussion? Okay, this is Resolution R2510-78. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Does unanimously pass. Item 14 is Resolution R2510-80. Councilman Carter.
Thank you. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign a memorandum of agreement with the State of Tennessee Department of Military for property to locate new Fire Hall Number 1 headquarters and training tower, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Carter, second by Councilman Pennell. Questions or discussion? Councilman Juvance.
Thank you, Mayor. I had a good conversation with Chief Beeman about it to give me some answers, but I'm still worried that we're signing a contract with no real number on it, because even if we get the land is not free. It's a contract. We talk about gift for the land where we have to do several projects, and that's an unknown number. We can vary a lot depending on what we find on the land. We saw that happening at the ranch at the last minute. So I'm still gonna vote yes, but I'm worried about another cost with surprising at the end, and about the timestamp too, because we have 39 months from the date we get the land to finish building. So 39 months, we've seen that some of our projects take a lot more than that. But hopefully everything is gonna go nice. Hopefully, hope for the best.
Anyone else? It's Resolution R2510-80. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Does pass unanimously. Item 15 is Resolution R2510-81. Vice Mayor Hayes.
Yeah, this is a resolution of the City of Gallatin, Tennessee to adopt the 2025 through 2029 Consolidated Plan and 2025 Annual Action Plan for the Community Development Block Grant Program administered by the City of Gallatin. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Hayes, second by Councilman Carter. Opening the floor for discussion. I do want to address one thing that in response to what a commenter said earlier. I don't have the exact numbers, and I certainly don't know the years off the top of my head, but the City of Gallatin has consistently given money for the Stay Warm shelter under the umbrella of Stay Warm Unlimited Potential, just as United Way has done. So I don't want anyone to think that we have not sent money that way through our community enhancement program, because every year we sit in here and Unlimited Potential comes in and speaks for the Stay Warm shelter, and we give some, because it doesn't apparently have its own nonprofit, so under that umbrella they've been asking for funds for that program, and so to our knowledge we have been accepting it, and I just do want to be clear about that. Beyond that, I'm happy to open the floor for any discussion. Councilman Juvance.
Can we put the discussion on 15 and 16 because it's kind of all linked together, or I
I don't
can wait
care.
for 16.
Yeah, that's fine.
You have to vote on,
We'll vote on them separately, but
you can just
All right, so
discussion.
I will wait for 16.
Okay.
you can discuss them both right now. We just have to vote on the resolution separately.
Yeah, so I want to make sure we are all on the same page. I had a few exchange of email with our chief grant, chief operating grant on that one. I don't know how to call him, but he's going to be in charge, and I appreciate the effort. So I had a couple of worries, but he fixed it, and he showed me that was fixed about the wording on what's in the package looks like between the printing and the ADAP. Something disappeared, but he sent me a screenshot, so I know the wording is there for meals for the homeless and services. The only discrepancy we have right now, and I want to make sure again, the motion I made last week was to have 15% of the allocation to public services, meals for homeless. And this 15%, I think that's where we have discrepancy. When I look at the paperwork, they just appear one time. My motion was to have 15% on the project, not just on one time. So I want to make sure we all on the same agreement, and that the number is changed on the paperwork to reflect that, not just 14,610 for 5 years, but 14,610 every year the program goes through, or 15% if they give us more money. So I want to make sure we all on the same page.
Well, the only concern there is if there's a year where we don't have the organization through which to deploy those funds, then we wouldn't be able to spend them because they have to be in concert with an organization that can provide those services. So
Pretty sure we'll get an organization to do that.
they have to be a nonprofit or.
Several around.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any further discussion, any further questions? This is
Do we need some clarification? Does Mr. Carpenter need clarification, or, I mean?
I was under the assumption that's what we were doing anyway. So, I mean, I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah, but that was not what was on the paperwork.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure the paperwork and that that Jim changed the paperwork to reflect the exact number.
You don't have a problem with that, do you? I mean, okay.
Mr. Carpenter, I want to thank you for your work on this. I know it has been difficult, especially with the federal government being shut down, and you've done a great job, and you really care, and I appreciate that. This is Resolution R2510-81. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Does pass unanimously. Item 16 is Resolution R2510-82. Vice Mayor Hayes again.
Yeah, this is a resolution of the City of Gallatin, Tennessee, to adopt a citizen participation plan for the Community Development Block Grant Program administered by the City of Gallatin. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Hayes, second by Councilman Juvance. Any questions, any discussion? Okay, this is Resolution R2510-82. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Does pass unanimously. That concludes the regular agenda. It brings us now to other business. And I would ask if any member of this council, Councilman Juvance.
Thank you, Mayor. I think we need to look at something on our permit because we had a few demonstrations, and there's probably going to be more and more. And I think the only permit we have for that is a parade permit, which doesn't really cover civil demonstration. So I looked around in Tennessee, and cities actually have a special permit for that with timing depending on the number of people who are going to attend the demonstration. For example, Memphis, if they're more than 25 people, they have to request a permit 14 days in advance. And we don't have that. We can put us in a situation where that could be asked, you know, a day in advance or 2 days in advance, and now that put a strain on our police department and on our first responder, county or city, and sometimes both, like we've seen at the last two demonstrations. And I think that's something we should look into because I like our first responder not to be prepared and have a, you know, I don't want them to spend their night before to put a plan of action to keep everybody safe. And, you know, I just think we should have something like that. So I don't know if we need to discuss or just look into it and bring it back to us. I think we lack something in there. I don't know what Susan want to say something about it.
That's really under Ms. Kittrell, but I'm happy to work with her to bring that back. We can look at other cities that have something similar, and I think that we could come up with something, if that's what this body
Most of the
wants.
time when we do have a demonstration, they will contact my office. We call it, they can protest. Sometimes people just want to stand out and do that, and we don't really call it a demonstration. We call it a protest or a march, and it's free. We just ask that they fill out the application. We have a contact person. That way, we send it to the police department so they know, and then we give them a guideline for the ordinance that tells them they can't block the sidewalks, those types of things. And that has worked. The only time, last time, we did not have, no one contacted the office, and we didn't have anything, the last one. And there's no time before a date, like 14 days, there's not. They just usually just come in and fill it out.
Yeah, that's kind of the concern I have, that there is really no time. If it's 5 people, it's a different staff that if it's 200 people to organize around and safety and stuff. So maybe that's worth looking to it.
Have to set those parameters for anything. I can recall us doing a vigil on the square one time after the bombing in Chattanooga, and that was in a day, you know. So you have to realize that not all things are the same, that, you know, different circumstances require different accommodations. Okay, anyone else with other business this evening? Councilman Alexander.
Thank you, Mayor. I've received some complaints from the residents at Windsong concerning trucks stopping at the light there at Clear Lake Meadow Boulevard using their exhaust brake, their Jake brakes. I don't even know who to look to see some signs, or if we can
And that's,
post something. I know it's a state road.
well, no. We've had complaints there, and then also up on
Is that engineering? Is that public
109.
works?
We've had the discussion in the past a couple of times. I can't remember the reasons or the what fors or what we can do, but
I told them I would bring it, so.
I'd have to defer to Chief on enforcement, but we do have multiple signs up that prohibit compression braking on 109. There may be some right there in that stretch close to Clear Lake Meadows Boulevard. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that there is in both directions, but I'd have to defer to Chief on how enforcement is possible, but we do have an ordinance that we passed prohibiting compression braking.
Good, thank you. The last one was 4:30 yesterday morning. The resident was awoken by a single truck that was popping it off, so. Thank you.
anyone else?
I'd just like to thank everybody that took part in making Trunk or Treat 2025 a great success. Thank you to the chiefs over there for having their people present and for stopping by to hang out and pass out candy, and we're looking forward to next year. Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, now it's time for public recognition on non-agenda related items. So if you have an item that you'd like to address that was not on the evening's agenda, this would be your time. And there's no one springing to their feet to run to the podium, so I'm going to declare public recognition on non-agenda related items closed. Bring us to the final item, which is to adjourn. Motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Alexander. All in favor, say aye. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a good evening, a great rest of the week, and I hope you experience some kindness here in our community. Take care.